Hi, my name is Shoza Siswa Binti Zakaria and my matrix number is F01878.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Karinaza binti Azlan and my matrix number is F01920.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuha binti Muhammad Nasir and my matrix number is F01929.
My name is Tamim Shamatan and my matrix number is F01865.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Shuhada binti Mak Jusuf. My matrix number F01846. Today, I am going to talk about security defense. What is security defense? Security defense was an approach to cybersecurity in which a series of defensive mechanisms that was layered in order to protect valuable data and information. If one mechanism fails, another steps up immediately face an attack. This problem approach with intentional redundancies that was increases in the security system as a whole that addresses with many different attack vectors. Then, the purpose of security defense is to ensure that they have the right security in place to prevent system and networks being compromised. Next, there are four elements in security defense, which is network security, antivirus software, behavioral analysis, and data integrity. Network security is a broad term that covers various of technologies, devices, and processes. Antivirus software is important to protecting from the viruses and malware. However, many variants often rely heavily on signature based on detection. Besides, behavioral analysis picks up the slack and can either send alerts or execute automatic controls that can prevent a breach from continuing any further. Lastly, data integrity. Every file on a system has what is known as a checksum. This is mathematical representation of a file that shows the frequency of its use, its source, which can be used to check against a known list of viruses. Other than that, security defense was organized based on controls that are designed to protect the physical, technical, and administrative aspects of the network. The first aspect is technical controls. Technical controls was included with security measures can protect the network systems or resources using specialized hardware or software, such as a firewall appliance or antivirus program. Second, administrative controls. It is the security measures consisting of policies or procedures directed at an organization's employees. For example, instructing the users to label sensitive information as confidential. Last but not least, physical controls. These controls include security measures that can prevent physical access to technology systems such as security guards or locked doors. Next, there are two types of security defense issues. First, network security. It is an organization sets up a firewall or script to encrypt the data flow through the network and also protect the rest of the data. Even if hackers passed the firewall and got to steal the data, it was encrypted. Second, website protection is a vendor that provides software to protect end users from cyber attacks. Can bundle multiple security offerings in the same product. For example, packaging together antivirus, fireware, anti-spam, and privacy controls. Lastly, there are some examples consist best first line of security defense. One of them is Forcepoint's next generation fireware or NFGW. It is the defense organization that against emerging malware and other exploits that threaten the integrity of your network and data. Next, Imperva was used to defend in-depth security solutions, providing multiple lines of defense to secure your data and network. Your data security solutions include database monitoring, data masking, and vulnerability detection. That's all from me.
So I would like to present to everyone about a disaster recovery plan. First thing first, let me explain to you about definition of a disaster recovery plan. So a disaster recovery plan, or also called as a disaster recovery implementation plan, is a formal document created by an organization that gives precise instructions on how to respond to unanticipated events. The unanticipated events are such as power outage, cyber attacks, natural disasters, or anything that takes your company offline so they cannot work, or your company's website goes offline so customers cannot access it, or anything that corrupts data. So the disaster recovery plan includes techniques for limiting the effects of a disaster so that a company can continue to function or swiftly restore critical operations. Strong disaster recovery strategy should enable a speedy recovery. Then, what is the purpose of a disaster recovery plan? So the purpose of a disaster recovery plan is to roughly explain the steps that must be taken before, during, and after a disruptive events or main disaster so that everyone on the team can follow them. So a disaster recovery plan consists an organization of all sizes, generate and handle huge volumes of data. Most of it is a mission critical. Human error, hardware failure, or hacking can all have a significant impact on data damage or loss. Therefore, creating a disaster recovery plan for the restoration of a company data from a data backup image is essential. The disaster recovery plans are built around three main disaster recovery goals. Firstly is the prevention, including proper backups, generators, and surge protectors. Secondly is the detection of a new potential threats, a natural byproduct of routine inspections. And thirdly is a correction, which might include holding a lessons learned, brainstorming session, and securing proper insurance policies. So as we all know, although different disaster recovery plan exist, a disaster recovery plan should have the following features. Firstly is goals. The statement of goals will outline what the organization wants to achieve during or after a disaster, including the recovery time objective or RTO and the recovery point objective or RPO. So the recovery time objective or RTO refers to the acceptable downtime after an outage before business processes and systems must be restored to operation. Then the recovery point objective or RPO refers to how much data the company is willing to lose after a disaster occurs. So secondly is a personnel. Every disaster recovery plan must be specified who is accountable for carrying out the plan and account for the possibility of individual people becoming unavailable. Thirdly is IT inventory. An updated IT inventory should include information on all hardware and software assets, as well as any cloud services that are required for the company's operations. The fourth thing is backup procedures. The disaster recovery plan must specify where, on which devices, and in which folders each data restored is backup, as well as how the team should retrieve each resources from backup. The fifth thing is disaster recovery procedures. These processes, which should be unique from backup procedures, should cover all emergency responses, including last-minute backups, mitigation measures, damage limiting, and cyber security threat elimination. Next is disaster recovery sites. A hot disaster recovery site should be designated in any comprehensive disaster recovery plan. All data can be frequently backed up to or replicated to a hot disaster recovery site, which is an alternative data center that houses all key systems. So when disaster strikes, operations can be instantly transferred to the hot site. And lastly is restoration procedures. Ensure that a disaster recovery plan includes specific restoration methods for recovering from a loss or of full system functioning by following best practices. The benefits of disaster recovery plan is, firstly is cost efficiency. Man-made disasters are less likely to occur if preventative actions are taken. When problems do occur, detection procedures are meant to promptly identify them. Secondly is increased productivity, as a disaster recovery plan requires defining precise roles and tasks as well as responsibility, improves your team's performance and production. Thirdly is improved customer retention. A disaster recovery plan enables business to meet and maintain a higher level of services in any circumstance. By reducing the risk of data loss and downtime for your consumers guarantees that they receive better service from you during and after a disaster, which strengthens their loyalty. So the next one is compliance. Enterprise business users, financial markets, healthcare patients, and government agencies all rely on important enterprises availability. And then lastly is scalability. Cloud-based data storage and related technologies help to improve and simplify the process while also allowing for greater flexibility and scalability. There are several steps in the development of disaster recovery plan. Firstly is a risk assessment. To begin, do a risk assessment and a business impact analysis that covers a wide range of possible disasters. We need to analyze each organizational functional area to determine alternative outcomes. Secondly is evaluate critical needs. Based on the key needs of each department, define priorities for operations and processing. We need to prepare written agreements for selected alternatives. Thirdly, set a disaster recovery plan objective. To plan for a business continuity, make a list of mission critical processes and then decide which data or equipments are required to support those functions. Then determine the recovery time goal for each function based on RTO and RPO. Lastly, examine any service level agreements your company has made with users, executives, or stakeholders. The next one is collect data and create the written document. Collect data for your plan using pre-format form as needed. Then organize and use the information you have gathered in your written well-documented strategy. And lastly is test and revise. Come up with criteria and procedures for putting the plan to the test. Run the strategy through its paces using the criteria and methods. Here comes the right strategies and tools that will help implement a disaster recovery plan. So firstly is traditional on-premises recovery strategies, which is we need to determine which IT resources support time-critical business activities and operations so that their recovery timeframes are in sync. Secondly is data and restoration. Solutions for mission-critical business application and sensitive data include cloud backup and cloud-native disaster recovery, which reduce the need for expensive hardware and IT infrastructure. Lastly is internal recovery strategies. By assuming off-site data backup or data mirroring are taking place, processing can continue and data can be restored at an alternate site under this circumstance.
So I'm going to talk about backup files. Backup files means duplicate file in a location apart from the original file. A backup is a copy of computer data that is captured and stored somewhere so that it can be used to restore the original in the event of data loss incident. Backups can be used to restore data after it has been lost due to deletion and restore data from a previous point in time. The majority of data on modern computer is kept in discrete units called files. File systems are used to arrange these files. When you back up your important system and personal information to a hard drive or storage device like external backup or flash drive, you are doing a file backup. And it is important to perform regular backups to avoid data loss. Although software can be reinstalled, your data may not be permanently lost. Data loss can be caused by a variety of factors including system failure, virus infection, power outages, software updates, and human carelessness. Some users have never made a backup of their files. This may not appear to be a significant amount until we consider how frequently data is lost. And there are some reasons why we should have backup files. First, data loss prevention. We all have heard about or suffered a terrible data loss. The main objective of data backup is to protect essential files in the case of system crash or hard disk failure. Then, archiving. The development of archives is streamlined when data is backed up. Company history is being written with the help of digital data. Then, no wasted time. By preventing repetitions, data backups minimize wasted time. Employees do not have to redo reports as a solution. Then, you can get a peace of mind. Data backups on a routine basis give you peace of mind. And Operation Plan B. If the original backups result in the data damage or hard drive failure, further backups should be made. This is best accomplished through the cloud or remote storage. There are 3 ways to create backup files. First, the external hard drive. An hard drive is like the one inside your computer. It is a storage device that can hold any type of information. Many of them are compact and portable. Those files will derive safely away from your computer once signed to the disk, providing protection in the event of your PC is stolen and damaged. And it is the most common and traditional method of backup is to use an external hard drive. Flash drives are extremely small and portable devices that are often the size of a stick of gum. This method is quite similar to the first, except it instead makes use of flash memory, a storage chip that can be erased and rewritten. Those files will remain on the flash drive once you disconnect it until you remove it. And the third one is cloud storage. Cloud storage is the method of transferring files from your computer to a server at the data center. Cloud storage provider uses those servers to provide a set of amount of storage space that you rent. Cloud backup on the other hand is by far the most effective backup method available. Then, there are potential drawbacks for all 3 methods. First, external hard drive. It can fail for a variety of causes at any time, but it is uncommon for a newer hard disk to fail completely, and most drives can last for a year. Next, flash drive. It can become corrupted, degrade, or break down over time, pretending they are worthless. And newer flash drive is less likely to fail. Then, cloud storage. It may and have been hacked, and it can go out of business operations, and it might not able to access any file stored in your account. And you need an internet connection to access cloud storage. So, remember that the best way to back up your file is to combine all 3 methods. It is the smartest move to do backup files. Thank you.
Biometrics. Biometrics consists of 2 words which are bio and matrix. Bio means science of life and living organism. Meanwhile, matrix means system of or standard of measurement. The combination of biometrics is body measurement and calculation of something that related to human characteristics. The example of biometrics. There are 5 examples of biometrics. The first one is fingerprint scanning. The second one is voice recognition. The third one is iris recognition. The fourth one is facial recognition, and the last one is heart rate sensor. The history of biometrics starts in 1800s. Alphonse Bertillon developed a method of specific body measurement for the classification and comparison of criminals. Next is fingerprinting, followed suit in the 1880s, not only as a means of identifying criminals, but also as a form of signature on contracts. Next is true there are debates on who exactly investigated fingerprinting for identification. Edward Henry is denoted for the development of a fingerprinting standard called the Henry's classification system. Moreover, the system was quickly adopted by law enforcement, replacing Bertillon's methods, becoming the standard for criminal identification. The last one is This began a century worth of research on what are the unique physiological characteristics could be used for identification. There are three types of biometrics. The first one is biological biometrics. Biological biometrics is basically uses biological traits at a genetic and molecular level. The second one is morphological biometrics. Morphological biometrics is basically involve the structure or part of your body. The last one is behavioral biometrics. Behavioral biometrics are based on uniqueness and difference pattern to each person. Lastly, the benefits of biometric security. Convenience of use, user-friendly, highly efficient, non-transferable, high security and assurance, simplifies scheduling, and lastly, difficult to steal and impersonate.
I will start with the definition and purpose of antivirus software. Antivirus software is a sort of application that protects computers from malware such as viruses, computer worms, spyware, botnets, rootkits, keyloggers, and other threats. Antivirus software scans, detects, and eliminates viruses from your computer. Antivirus programs are available in a variety of versions and types. However, the primary goal of any antivirus tool is to protect computers and, once detected, to eliminate viruses. The majority of antivirus products have both automated and manual screening options. The rapid scanning option can check files that have been obtained from the internet, disks that have been inserted into the computer, and files created by software installers. On a daily basis, the automated scanning operation may also check the entire hard disk. The manual scanning mechanism allows you to inspect individual documents or even the entire network at any time you deem necessary. Next, we move to how does it works. Antivirus software works by comparing your computer applications and files to a database of unknown malware kinds. Because hackers are continually creating and disseminating new viruses, it will also check systems for the presence of new or undiscovered malware threats. Most programs will employ one of three detection methods. Firstly, specific detection, which looks for known malware. Secondly, generic detection, which looks for known parts or types of malware or patterns that share a common code base. And thirdly is heuristic detection, which looks for unknown viruses by identifying known suspicious file structures. When the program detects a virus-infected file, it will normally quarantine it and or design it for deletion, rendering it unavailable and eliminating the threat to your device. So here are the 6 best antivirus software in 2021. Start with Bitdefender. Bitdefender Antivirus Plus is the company's entry-level antivirus software, making it suitable for non-technical home users and anyone looking for basic threat protection. Bitdefender Plus has a number of security-focused features such as ransomware prevention, online purchase, and web-based transaction monitoring and password management, which allows users to generate unique passwords for everything, all of which are controlled through a simple dashboard. Next, we move to Norton 360 with LifeLock. Because of how it has continued to improve on its legacy of defending Windows machines, Norton 360 with LifeLock was named Best Antivirus for Windows. LifeLock's Identify Theft Protection features alone provide it an advantage. The third best antivirus software is Webroot Secure Anywhere for Mac. This software has a little footprint on your computer's operating system, but it does lightning fast security assessments and is one of the best at detecting phishing. When you install Webroot, you can provide an email address to get warnings about new dangers. So what's best in McAfee? McAfee Antivirus Plus is the only antivirus solution that identifies the expanding number of devices in a single household, which may comprise 4 or more operating systems. Trend Micro Antivirus Security not only provides an aggressive antivirus system at a reasonable price, but it also includes a number of security tools such as layered ransomware protections, a firewall booster, and the PayGuard browser, which offers the safest levels of protection for online banking and purchases. Next, the 6th best antivirus software is Malwarebytes, which is our top pick for malware scanning. It's the best at eradicating malware on demand of any provider. Then, it's also great at catching, quarantining, and uninstalling malware that's creating havoc on your computer.